Hey, Nathan here, helping you become a better jungler. This is a review request I received from a player over on the North American server. He's Diamond 3. This is a Xin Zhao game of his. He goes 7, 7, and 8. It is a win. Also, great timing. The fact that I released my Xin Zhao guide the other week. The 2 hour long extensive guide as well as 6 bonus video material on that. A lot of good stuff there to learn Xin. So really happy to see a Xin Zhao review request. So why do you want me to do this game specifically? He says, wants me to go over my stupid deaths and learning to actually press a priority lane. Okay, this is what I talk a lot about in the guide, and it actually says here you did watch the guide. So you also say here, I stated that my win rate with Xin corresponded to the amount of deaths I had. Yes, past the 4 in the guide, I talk about past the 4 death mark, I was getting about a 30% win rate. It sort of is correlated as well to the amount of game time. Obviously, the longer time the game goes, the more likely you are to die. And you don't want games to be going long as in. If you're getting past like the 30-minute game mark, the game's sort of starting to become out of your control. So my sweet spot was around 27 minutes I wanted to end games in. So again, definitely recommend you watching the guide. There'll be a link in the description below, up top if you want to learn more about Xin. Alright, so he says, I wanted to press top lane as I win condition because ganking Heimer will be hard, and even when shut down, I don't see how Swain and Nami will fare in team fights versus Garen Lee. Did need the well, dying a lot, and not focusing on top. Great. So we'll take a look at this. We'll talk about the press in. We'll take a look at these. I won't go over them now, but these timestamps. So need to know when I should have been topside counter ganking this Lee and pressing the lane. So specific moments, obviously you've already stated them here. Great. So before we go into the press-in part of things and your win condition, let's take a look at your runes. You are going the Hail of Blades. Obviously, I talk about this in my guide. Best rune to go on Xin. Xin does so well with his Q. Get that knock up ASAP. Sudden Impact, Zombie Ward, Relentless Hunter, and Triumph Alacrity, and Attack Speed, AD Armor. Great. So these are, obviously, again, coming from my guide. I talk about these runes. I had 2 options. I also went Sorcery in my second tree. I went these runes if I felt like I wanted to be more of like an AD carry threat. And I'll also have the option of building Triforce if I do a really good early game. And I think in terms of your team comp here, you actually do have a Swain. You actually have a lot of it would actually be really good if you're an AD threat here. Going a bit more mixed damage. Obviously, you, Renekton, are going to be really the only AD. And the fact that you are versing, these guys love to skirmish. It's not like fights are going to be pretty short. So I think that it actually makes a lot of sense. I would also go the Alacrity build and also potentially look to be carrying this game with Triforce. But again, I talk about in the guide, if you're behind, just build Sterax. But obviously open up the option. Okay, so now talking a little about your win condition here. So you say, top lane to get Renekton beefy enough to shrug off the burst of Gragas Heimer in team fights. Also getting an early lane bully ahead is just free first turret pressure and objective control. Okay. So the fact that obviously you are top side, your red side, I talk about again in the guide the level 2 gank strategy. And I think it is actually worth pulling off on this Garen. Renekton's obviously are really good in terms of early to mid game, but sort of drop off as well. So he's sort of in unison with you as Xin. But if you guys can both get ahead early, you guys can definitely take over the game. I always talk about in my guide as well as try and make bot a win condition. But the fact again that you are versing a Heimer, it is right. It's actually a bit difficult to be ganking a Heimer, especially you have like a Nami. Like if you had like a Nautilus or Thresh maybe, or Morgana. But even then, I would say that these guys are going to be playing pretty safe with Yuumi. And Yuumi's also honestly, a bit annoying to deal with as Xin. Obviously, she can speed up you with her heal, and also her ult's really disruptive. So I definitely think top side should be the place where you're pressing, should be a win condition. Mid, I feel like Graves is also pretty vulnerable. Graves obviously has his E to run away, but you can counter that with your E, right? And obviously Zoe has some CC to follow up on. So I definitely think top side of the map's your win condition. But I always say, let's see how the game plays out. Obviously Xin Zhao can impact a lot of lanes early, but I think that we should definitely be looking to impact top early. Get your Renekton snowballing. Okay, so you're actually doing this. This is great to see. Again, this is my level 2 gank strategy that I talk about in my guide. So this ward here basically makes sure that if you're doing the level 2 gank strategy, which is red Krugs into straight gank, this ensures that Garen hasn't warded at all. You would know that there's no counterplay to this. Obviously, he could maybe walk all the way around here and ward this brush without you knowing, but that's very, very unlikely. And even if this is warded, then you know that maybe a level 2 gank is not an option. So it's just giving you information. And it's also obviously really good to switch out to Red Sweeper Trinket to utilize your Zombie Ward. So yep, switch out to Oracle Lens here. I'll also just reduce the chat, it's pretty big. Okay, so obviously you want to do level 2 gank strategy here. So we need to look at if Garen has warded. Red, Krugs, and mid's actually already died. So that's not ideal. But if you're looking at mid, and he has no summoners right now, so it's actually also a good thing for you. It's making him very vulnerable for later ganks. So that's actually opening up a lot of options for you. And this is where F keys come in. Like whenever people are fighting, dying early, if you miss it, sometimes just ask your laner, did they burn sums? They'll tell you. It's always good sometimes to be communicating with your team. Alright, so Garen definitely hadn't warded. This should be pretty free. Actually, these guys are just fighting straight up. Alright, I like the flash. He flashes, beautifully executed. Follow up with E. It's really, really good that you started with flash there. Obviously, E's the one that does the damage and slows them. So if you start with flash, you know he's going to flash. Get the red buff slow. Actually, I don't think you did get the red buff slow. Okay, anyway, get the kill. Great stuff. Okay, so the thing is always when I do, and this is, I don't think I really talked much about this in my guide, but whenever I am versing like a level 3 jungler, like a strong early jungler that usually does like the red, blue Gromp path, for example, I almost never want to walk back into this river. The way that I view it is that, especially the fact that you don't have mid or top priority, once I've done that gank, sometimes I'll literally just base, like walk back here, base, then go bot side, reset your position on the map. Because the thing about this right now is that Lee Sin has most likely sometimes like a level advantage, and he is level 3 right now. So, and also like, I view this as sort of like a height advantage. Like, he has information advantage on you. He knows that you're going to be walking bot side here, so he can easily come disrupt you. And this is what he does here. So this is sort of one thing to note. I mean, maybe you can get away with this if you have mid priority. But again, versus especially champs like Lee Sin, I always try to avoid walking back into the river here based on the early path. But if you're obviously versing weak talisman junglers, definitely can come down here and also even take their blue. That's also a potential as well. But again, Lee Sin's not one of those champs you want to be doing that against. So it looks like you're probably going to die here because you don't have flash. And there you go. And that's the other thing as well. Lee Sin knew you didn't have flash. He's thinking of you as like literally a free kill. So take that into note next time you do that level 2 gank strategy against junglers like Lee Sin. Alright, so you get your Skirmisher Saber. Could you afford control wards? Don't think you could have. No, you couldn't have. So that's fine, but ideally we do want to be coming out of base with at least a lot of, you know, control wards. Really, really important for early pressure. Again, Xin Zhao, insane early pressure. Want to be using that to your advantage as much as possible. Okay, so we're going for a bot gank now. This is looking pretty good. And this is great. Just skipping your camps, just gank, gank, gank. If these guys have pushed this far up. But I love that you didn't start the gank with E. Used it to follow up. Really good stuff. So mechanically, doing really, really well. On Xin, I always say, if you can hold your E, hold your E. You don't need to use it. Save it for when they flash or use some sort of form of escape ability. Okay, so I think this is fine. Just farm, farm, farm. Top is going to be pushing back now, so that's not exactly going to be an option. But you see, the thing about this now is that Renekton is also a place where you can potentially be looking to counter gank. So, I mean, Lee Sin obviously actually just came top and killed him, which obviously wasn't ideal because, again, you want to be pressing top, so that's your win condition. But, I mean, you have started to get your Swain ahead. But, yeah, starting to think about using Renekton's pressure for counter ganks as well. And this is where it comes into just intuition and tracking the enemy Lee Sin as well, which is obviously more advanced stuff that I won't be able to get into in this review, but just, again, opening up that option. So great, Graves gank here. Nami roams up for that as well. Help push in mid. Okay, so obviously Dragon is a pretty big potential here. I mean, you guys are all full health right now. You don't exactly have bot priority, but let's just go do drag. Just pressure it. Worst case scenario, Xin comes and you guys can force him out. You have Red Sweeper Trinket. So yeah, I definitely think... Okay, what did you actually say anything about this? No, you didn't. So yeah, you're talking more about your deaths. Yeah, so you've missed a huge opportunity. If I can get Dragon early, make 4 Dragons your win condition. I mean, bots... I mean, it's not like your bot's behind. Just come down here. Swain's coming back to lane, full health. He's got a Blast in Wand as well. And Lee Sin actually shows top as well. Okay, you definitely missed a huge opportunity to drag there. Alright, so a bit of a mistake there. But back to farming. I mean, it's good that you're still keeping up with farm, but missing a little bit of prioritization here to be getting objectives so you can snowball this game. Alright, so Xin actually shows top. Looks like he was trying to take your Krugs. Okay, you actually dodged that Q with an E. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I think you guys win this 2v2 really hard, especially with Renekton main 6. Alright, cool. So Lee Sin does get away. And you're going to red now. So this is the thing that sort of sucks about you not taking drag, is that if I'm the enemy jungler, I know that you will most likely, because he knows you started red, right? Because you did the level 2 gank. So your buff's most likely up by now, which means that you want to be coming to kill it a second time. So this is also a situation where sometimes it's actually good to use that information to your advantage and literally base after you've taken Rift Scuttler and go straight bot and ditch your red, because he's going to be maybe looking to do dragon. And out of curiosity, okay, Lee Sin literally is on dragon, okay. So, I mean, this is more of like a... Obviously, you're playing in Diamond Elo. This is what Diamond Junglers are going to sort of punish you for this. But I think it's still okay. But again, it would have all been prevented if you got that dragon. So, sort of like looking in hindsight, it would have been better if you did take that drag. But now you're going to lose dragon, which is just not ideal. Especially when you sort of, you know, did put some resources bot, got them a little bit ahead. Mid's doing pretty well. Okay, so I definitely, my game plan now would be starting to think about how I can get Rift Herald. That's definitely going to be really, really good for Snowball in this game, like breaking potentially top tower, just opening up Renekton on the map. Okay, Graves actually comes top here. Okay, so could you come and see this for a counter gank? Did he walk over this? Okay, so this is, I mean, this is again, coming back to an intuition thing. And what do you say here? Okay, you actually, it looks like you say you die here. Let's just take a look at this. But, I mean, I'm thinking here is, again, sometimes just hover your lanes, especially when they're, like, pushed up like this. Graves has gone missing. I'd say it's pretty likely he's roamed up. Like, obviously he's going to be looking to do something with his priority. He's not showing mid right now. I mean, it's good that you're top, but again, it's going to be a little bit difficult for you to come here in time. I mean, it sounds like you do die. Okay, so, yeah, definitely not ideal. Didn't get there in time. I mean, if you were there, like, absolutely, you guys just absolutely hard win that. So, yes, second death of the round was unlucky. I guess if I watched the map, I reacted to Graves' gank. Half a second earlier, I could have reached Renekton and Garen fight faster and flash killed Garen before Renekton died. That could have turned the fight, and absolutely. Get the Triumph proc. Okay, so you actually do die there. So that's a lot of momentum gone. And again, the place that you're pressing your top lane right now is sort of... Yeah, sort of becoming a bit more difficult now. But again, I still think, I mean, Renekton's still doing really good. I mean, he's 15 CS up. Like, I mean, Garen's sort of building pretty AD here. He's gone sort of the Triforce build, pretty squishy. I think, I mean, you got some control here already. You got some control wards. Renekton's going to be constantly pushing in. Like, just still figure out a way how to do Rift Herald. Alright, so you do just flush there, get the kill. That's good, you get some shutdown gold. I think that's definitely worth it. Okay, so you go bot side again. So I think it's okay, come down here and clear your camps, but again, in your head right now, you should be thinking about how can I get Rift Herald to like accelerate this game. And it's great, obviously, handing blue off to Zoe, that's really good. But really need to be thinking about how to end this game pretty quickly. Especially against Yumi's that, you know, are pretty annoying to deal with later game. Okay, so the thing about this that I really hate right now is that you're on the map with like no control wards. Like you don't really have control wards to control Rift Herald, so it's a little bit risky to take. You can't really protect Renekton with control wards. Like this is always a situation I really don't like to be in as Xin, is just walking around the map right now. You don't exactly have anything to do without control wards. So there's obviously an opportunity opening up mid here. Free kill on Graves, good map awareness. Help mid push in. Okay, let's just back off right here. You've got the momentum. They're going to have to react to this wave right here. What I would be doing here is doing Wolves, base in, spend your gold. You have 1700 gold right now. Get 2 controlled and then come top. And I want you to start pressing top. Red buff's coming up soon. This is actually just killing your momentum. There's no way you're going to get this here. And your Zoe's actually going to die for it as well. So at least I'm going to be able to escape here. Ward hop. Yeah, that's definitely not worth it at all. So just use pushing in a wave sometimes to your advantage. Again, Rift Herald is the priority objective here. And I hate that you're still on the map right now with no control wards. So this is really hurting your pressure as Xin. I mean, you are coming for a repeat gank potentially on Graves. But again, look at all this stuff that's way more priority than looking for a kill on this guy. I mean, the priority actually is you base in getting 2 control wards. And dragons come up as well. So you actually sort of fall into the trap as a jungler is decision fatigue, where there's so much to do on the map right now. You're sort of just wasting a lot of time. I mean, this is not going to work in a million years. Graves is going to be able to E away. I mean, you're walking blind right now into... You don't know where Garen is. You don't know where Lee Sin is. Like, a Garen actually shows top. This stuff is just really risky. Okay, you're lucky actually Zoe hit the E there. I think you would have died to Graves. Do you say anything about this? No, so again, you're only talking about your deaths. Alright, finally basing right now. And it actually pays off. I actually do kill Graves. Alright, no 2 controls from base. Huge mistake. This is really, really big. Can't be doing this. Definitely had the gold to afford it. It looks like you are building Triforce as well. I guess that's okay. I mean, I wouldn't say you've had an amazing early game. You have died twice, but I still think you can get away with building Triforce. You did have a lot of gold there. Alright, this gank's not going to work. Just do Dragon. Like, you have full control here. Like, don't waste time. Again, you have so much more important things to do here. Ganking bot is not one of them. Like, it's just you and Swain. Heimer's playing pretty safe. He has lots of tools. Yuumi has her ult still. He has lots of tools to, like, stun you and get away. There's so much more to do here. And the worst thing about this now is you've showed on the map and done nothing with it. This is always, like, worst case scenario. Especially as Xin. Whenever you show and do nothing, like, that's like a loss in my eyes. A small loss, but has big consequences. Right, so we do eventually do drag. See, and now Lee Sin knows you're going to do this. So he actually came for a potential steal, but you outsmart him, which is good. Alright, Rift Herald, Rift Herald, Rift Herald. You should be, like, working on your second Rift Herald by now. So this is definitely sort of slowing out the game for, like, no reason by not getting this objective. Alright, so again, not on the map with 2 controls. I keep looking at that because it's always just so painful to watch when you can't get any control of River. Okay, we've got some control here. There is a bunch of missing pings going right now. I would be very cautious walking into this. But you do have red sweeper trinket. Just do Rift. Renekton has full priority top. Let's just do it. Again, that was really risky as well. Didn't know where Lee Sin was. And I mean, do you know if Graves has flash? Like, I never like trading my flash for an enemy flash, really. especially at this stage of the game. Early game, I guess it's fine because you can come and re-gank it, but like Flash is a very big tool for Xin Zhao. I mean, I guess you have sort of pushed him out, and you can potentially get this tower now, which is good. But I would have much rather you just get Rift Herald. I mean, you can get Rift Herald off getting this tower now, which should be fine. And actually, Renekton comes and kills this guy. Alright, still works for you. But, again, Rift Herald's been ignored way too much. Alright, let's do nothing here. Let's just do Rift Herald. This is just how you throw games. You're fighting under a tower right now. Nami's not here. You die. Let's just take a look at this here. Third death of Sixter was me saving ultimate for next game. I didn't know why I didn't use it right after Guarantee P'd. And yeah, I definitely say just use your ult. Don't be stingy with it. But again, this whole play, like I don't even care about that. The biggest thing here is that you're just not looking to do Rift Herald to, you know, keep breaking towers and pressure objectives. Okay. So, I mean, you were silenced, I guess. Yeah, you should have definitely ulted here. But, I mean, I think you're dead anyway, probably. Alright, so it looks like it works out for you, but this is really sloppy stuff. Objectives over kills. Like, the thing with Zoe as well is you want to be playing flat slow. You want to be letting her poke people out. Like, obviously, you and Renekton can go all in, but Zoe's doing pretty well right now. You don't need to take those risks. Again, just do Rift Herald. A Rift Herald pushing a tower with Zoe poking is just terrifying stuff. So finally looks like we're doing Rift Herald. Great stuff, but this is probably like 10 minutes too late, honestly. Alright, so what happens here? This is another death. So this is, I think, you just greeting for Rift Scuttler. I mean, I think this Rift Herald actually is a whole greed in itself. I mean, they have full priority mid. You don't know where Lee Sin is. Just walk up this direction. Like, this is suicide. They're always, whenever the enemy team pushes mid, they're either going to walk into your jungle or walk bot side. And you have wards bot, they're walking top side. And you die for it. So just walk up this way. You already got the Rift. Take the little small win. This is suicide. Absolute suicide. And you get punished for it. Renekton's doing a lot of work here. Alright, so are you going to sell your refillable potion for 2 controllers? That is the question. You didn't again. I don't think I've seen you have a control ward for the last 10 minutes. Huge mistake. You should at least be getting 2 every single base, past like 10 minutes. Again, you can watch my Xin Zhao video, me playing in Diamond, executing my strategies and stuff like that. You always see controls either on the map or in my inventory at all times. So important. Alright, so good drag take. Enemy teams like all top. Lee Sin's dead. Okay, so definitely want to be thinking about playing around side lanes here. Renekton's obviously a great place for you to start because you guys can 2v3, but sort of you're going to be playing around Zoe. I mean, Swain's actually doing pretty well as well, so you have a lot of options. Okay, fight's breaking out here. Graves overextends. Kill Yuumi, and now Baron's the call. And again, you don't have control, so getting this Baron and pressuring it is so hard. And what I actually want you to do here, so you actually have a so this is always something you need to assess when you start Barons. You have a pretty slow Baron team. You have a Swain, you don't have an AD carry. Renekton doesn't do a lot of, he does a lot of individual burst damage with his cooldowns, but overall he doesn't do insane amounts of damage. And same with Zoe as well. So I'd be looking to bait this really hard using Zoe's poke. I mean, I guess maybe you can do it. Lee Sin, Graves is coming back up, but again, look how slow you're doing this. Like, just turn. Great, so you turn in. Zoe's pushing them out. Okay, we need to get off this right now. They now know you're doing it. Just keep turning. Graves is back up. Yumi's up now. I have no idea what Zoe's doing here by herself. They could easily just come kill her. Okay, yeah, I mean, this is good. They keep coming one by one, just keep killing them. And now you actually decide to completely turn. So I think this is the right move. Should be able to clean up here. Garen kills you. I mean, if Garen wants to waste his ult on you, I think that's fine. But again, you do have a lot of deaths this game. And a lot of these deaths could be very easily preventable. So you do finish off your Triforce. Renekton's popping off. Oh, you have 3 outer towers out right now. So you guys can keep, again, get to 2 control. Just keep pressuring Baron. Keep baiting this. Put out insane amounts of pressure. The fact that they haven't got this mid tower means that they can never get priority quicker than you get. Alright, still no 2 controls from base. Sell your refillable potion for at least 1. It's just going to make controlling the Directives River so much more difficult. Well, it's almost basically impossible, to be honest. Because you can use Sweeper, but once you use Sweeper, they just, just ward after that. What do you have to clear it? Alright, I like that you're now controlling top river here, just pressuring Baron. This is what you want to be doing. Looks like a team fight's breaking out here. Alright, great. 2 kills here. Graves is dead. Okay, this is a pretty ridiculous flash. Don't need to be doing this. Just take the small wins. Priority right now is you need to be pushing out sides. Take your two kills right there. Push out top, push out mid, base, and get 2 controls and start pressuring Baron. Like, this is your opportunity to get full top river control. Like, you flashing in here, like, Xin Zhao just doesn't want to be doing this. Like, flashing in alone into a Heimer under tower, like, this is just suicide. And you do die for it again. What would you say about this death here? As for his 5th and 6th death, his team fighting, I tend to get focused a bit as engages melee. So not much to discuss there. I mean, you didn't need to do that. Again, take the small wins, extend your lead through it, keep pressuring. Push out mid, push out top. Reset, 2 controls, Baron. No need to take those risks, but it looks like your team aces them. So this is also a situation sometimes where Xin Zhao, like, you're just trading kills all the time, and it is sometimes good to get into that, but you're relying a little bit too much on your team playing well. I mean, obviously your Renekton's really fed, your Swain's really fed, so I guess it's sort of fun to be a sort of bit of a suicide bot this game. Waste the enemy team's cooldowns on you, but I mean, that's not, again, sort of smart League of Legends, which is what I talk a lot about on my channel. Smart jungling, smart League of Legends when you do games. Hate rolling dices, especially dying as a jungler when Baron's up. Like, it's really bad, because then you're the only really option for smite, right? So definitely don't really like trading myself past 20 minutes, because then your team, sure, they can kill everyone, but sometimes I just can't Baron. So we kill a bunch there, do drag. Renekton's just getting an inhibitor right now. Lee's dead. Let's just go do Baron. Okay, fine, get that tower. 2 control wards. Still no 2 control wards. 2 control wards is better than a Ruby Crystal, especially when Baron's up. The rule that I follow here is if the item's not sort of a stopwatch or over like 700-800 gold, then like I won't get that item. Get 2 controls instead. So important. Alright, so your team is fighting bot. Swain's literally like 1v4 in right now. He's super fed. You guys take Baron. You guys can probably just end the game here. Alright, that looks like it's going to be GG. You guys have triple inhib. You die, Renekton dies, but I think minions will literally end this game. Yep. Alright. So, definitely I mean, the biggest thing here is just not getting Rift Heralds, accelerate the game quick enough. I mean, in terms of, like, pressing top, I think you did an okay job. Sort of, This is a game that's a little bit more difficult because Garen is a little bit hard to continually dive, but the way that you can also press a lane is by just looking again for counter ganks, using their pressure, moving, forcing the enemy jungler, the mid lane to come to top lane, come in for the counter ganks, cleaning them up, then get in the tower, getting Rift Shell. You missed an opportunity to do Dragon early. Biggest thing, 2 control wards, so important. I think I literally didn't see you buy a control ward past like 10 minutes. Really big mistake. I mean, for all junglers in general, junglers' role is to be getting vision, gaining vision, denying vision. Controllers help you do that, as well as red sweeper trinket. And obviously, also with your zombie ward, it synergizes super well with it. So that's going to be it for this review. You can check out my full notes over my blog, nathanmott.gg. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.